Welcome to Insights from Getting Undressed with speaker, author, and coach, David Cooks.
I'm David Cooks, and welcome to Insights from Getting Undressed, where we get to speak to readers from across the country and get their insights from reading my book, Getting Undressed, From Paralysis to Purpose. Our guest today is Jeff Middlestead. He's an area director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and he's currently living in Hortonville, Wisconsin. Jeff, welcome to the program.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Well, you know, Jeff, before we get started with your insights about the book, why don't you just give us a little bit of your background and some of the things that are going on with you now?
I've been on staff with Fellowship of Christian Athletes for 3 years here in Northeast Wisconsin. And we've been given an opportunity to relocate to the UP, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. And we're going to have the opportunity to bring to life an old resort that has 5 different cabins on the ground. So we will have a primary residence and then be able to house people to come and enjoy the beauty of the area. It's on 200 foot of lake frontage, so it's a real beautiful property. But we're doing it really with a heart for ministry. We're going to have a for-profit rental, but we want to minister to those that rent. But also we're going to be able to have pastoral retreats, men's retreats. FCA Leadership Camp is one of the things I'm hoping to bring to the property, and some other ministry type things. We're very excited. It's a terrific opportunity for my family, and we're all pretty excited to be departing soon.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations. Well, hey, let's get started. Okay. Each of our guests are going to be asked 3 questions, and we'll take them one at a time. The first question is, what story in the book did you most relate to and why?
Well, for me, it was the Fairfield story, where leaving the corporate world into doing, following your passion. And that's really parallels with my life. But when I read yours, it was so interesting to me to see someone that had a passion to do something, to serve others and giving back. And the reason behind it wasn't money motivated. It was servant motivated, really, from my perspective. So far more rewarding and satisfying work was the aim or the goal, it appeared to me, that you were pursuing. And I just really appreciated that. We live in a world that often is money hungry or success driven in a worldly way. And that doesn't mean you weren't driven and wanted success, but I think it was in a different kind of path, following your passion.
Thank you for that. Secondly, what are some of your key takeaways from reading the book?
There was a phrase that was written, "I just love playing the game," I believe it was written in there. And it was the idea of finding joy in whatever situation you were in. And clearly you've had trials and tribulations and rose up and defeated those things that could have brought you down. And just the idea of playing the game. So playing the game, whether that's playing a sporting event or wheelchair basketball like you had described, or if it's just playing the game of life and finding joy in whatever that may be. I really resonated with that.
Great. Do you have a favorite quote? There were a lot of quotes in the book. Any one in particular that you really like?
Yeah, it was from chapter 6. It said, "Be intentional about making other people's lives better. Do it on purpose, for purpose." And man, that's convicting, because I don't always feel like that is my motivation. Sometimes I want to help people lives to make them better. But to be honest with you, sometimes there's some selfish motivation in there too, which is wrong. So not only was it convicting to me, but it really kind of, I believe, was an insight of your heart and showed us a little bit more about who David Cooks really is. And just really loved that.
Well, you know, we're all on a journey. And so I think we have to keep that in mind when we go from paralysis to purpose. It's a journey, and there's going to be missteps along the way. And as long as you can stay on track and get back on track, I think it works out pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
But before we end, I want to give you an opportunity to just freestyle, if you will, and share your thoughts about the book and any recommendations you would have, or or anything that you would like for the world to know about getting undressed from paralysis to purpose?
Yeah, I thank you for the opportunity, and I thank you for making me aware of this book. And I took the time to read it, and immediately wanting to understand who you were better as a human being and kind of the life cycle that you went through. I thought the book flowed wonderfully through your life, and it helped me get a better understanding of who you were. It's a great read that has humor. It has tears, inspiration, life lessons are packed inside of it. It's really a story about perseverance and determination, and we need that so much in our life. And one of the other things I thought was the idea of identity. As growing up as an athlete and having your identity really found in sports, and I deal with that in the world that I minister to, and having a tragic event that you didn't allow that to define you. And boy, what a story we need to hear and to give. I was just on a conference call right before this, and a young man, 15 years old in Colorado, just took his life. And the idea of, and I thought about our conversation right now, was his identity. I don't know the story. I just know that the situation took place, and he was an athlete. And I wonder if his identity was caught in sport or a relationship, or something happened in his life that he didn't respond the way that you did. And that idea of having identity, knowing who you are, where you want to go, being grounded, and not letting life circumstance alter the rest of your life. In your case, it did alter your life, but in a positive way.
Right.
So I really appreciate that. Great book.
Well,
a must read.
I want to thank you, Jeff, for joining us today. It's an honor to have you, and safe travels to you and your family.
Thank you.
And until next time, remember this: whatever life throws your way, your ability to endure is always greater than your willingness to endure.
You can order a copy of Getting Undressed from Paralysis to Purpose at davidcookspeaks.com or on amazon.com. Special thanks to Jeff Middlestead for sharing his insights from Getting Undressed.